what I'm quite interested in doing is finding out whether the flat Earth is true.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it sounds pretty convincing, so I expect it is.
I expect it is as well. Here we go. The 25 plus best flat Earth ideas on Pinterest, right?
There's
some good stuff here, isn't there?
Yeah, me too. There's some really good things. I like if the sun is 93 million miles away, how are the clouds behind it?
Well, that's a very good point. Oh, look, let's click on that. That's a very good point, isn't it? I mean...
Yeah, look, those clouds are definitely behind that sun. You're right.
They are. Ever wondered why a rainbow is shaped like a dome? Well, here's your answer.
I like how they've coloured in under the rainbow a bit lighter to make it look more like a dome. I like that.
Yeah. That's what rainbows do, isn't it? I think it must be reflecting off the dome, right? Is that right?
Well, I guess. But what's causing the reflection of the rainbow? But I mean, like a rainbow is the refraction of the sun, right? Through water droplets in the air. But that wouldn't be possible if the sun was inside the dome.
Why? Oh, wouldn't it?
Well, no.
Hey, look, I found another one. Can you see the one with the large, up in the top left, there's like a large load of ice and some writing. It's like a giant leap for mankind. Admiral Byrd, an active Freemason. That's important, the Freemason thing. In early 1956, finds the firmament on his last expedition to Antarctic. Not the Antarctic.
Yeah,
Antarctica.
No, just Antarctic. It's
Antarctic.
It's less formal.
Yeah, which is not an island, but is the perimeter of ice surrounding our flat plain. This marks the beginning of a permanent US military presence in Antarctica. Now here's where the magic starts with a K.
Oh, this one with the K.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. To divert the people's attention away from God and the firmament, because that's what he'd discovered, they focused our attention on the skies. 1957, Russia fakes a satellite called Sputnik. 1958, the birth of NASA. Van Allen finds the faked Van Allen radiation belts to discourage private ventures from finding the firmament. So how does the Van Allen radiation belt, how does that discourage private ventures from finding the firmament?
I think that if they pretend that space is really hostile, then people won't try and go off into it.
Are you sure that's what it is? Are you sure they haven't misunderstood what a radiation belt is? You think it's like some kind of radiation belt that stops you from going to the firmament?
I can't imagine this guy could possibly have misunderstood a scientific concept.
Right. Okay. Anyway, and because going into space isn't necessary, is it? It's just going to Antarctica is necessary. So in some way, Van Allen radiation belts must be there to discourage you from going to Antarctica.
Right. I see what you mean. Yeah.
You don't think it's a radiation belt? Anyway, around Antarctica. In 1961, that's the year of the Antarctic Treaty. To date, 52 countries have signed to this treaty. Probably one of the only treaties never broken.
Wow. Well, that's a bold claim, isn't it?
It is. You and I are not allowed to go there to explore. Those that have tried have been met by military vessels with warnings of being blown out of the water. It is only a giant leap of faith that one can be taken to the moon. The moon, I'm not going to start on the moon. I'm going to start on the thing about not being allowed to go there to explore. That's simply not the case. It's just completely
Lots of people go to Antarctica.
My dad's been to Antarctica. I've got photos.
Oh, really?
I mean, I'm pretty sure the photos are real and not faked.
Was he being paid by NASA?
Well, I suspect that... Well, I mean, if he was, he didn't tell me about it, you know? But
right.
He probably would have been threatened with some kind of awful fate, right?
Well, actually, a better question, was he a Freemason?
No, he wasn't.
Oh, well, that's...
It's very strange.
Well, that's confusing.
Definitely, you can definitely go to Antarctica, and you definitely do not get threatened with being blown out of the water. That's definitely not true. And then, how does this relate to the moon? It is only a giant leap of faith that one can be taken to the moon. What?
Well, I guess if there's... So, I mean, I guess as a theory, flat Earth theory must also contain within it a hoax theory, right?
Right.
Because if it's a flat Earth on a disc, then presumably it's also not a round moon orbiting us.
It's just that we haven't talked about the moon up to this point. I'm not sure where the Antarctica thing. Oh well, you think it? I don't know. I find it confusing.
It's all this weird arguments about Antarctica just to get to the point of this is the reason why the moon landings are fake. Is that?
Maybe. In 1969, we gave Holland a moon rock that turned out to be petrified wood. Why do we still trust our government?
I cannot answer that question.
Oh dear. I mean, it's a great way of making an argument, isn't it? You just make up something and then why do we still trust our government? Wow.
Oh dear.
Wow. In 1933, a horde of dragons burnt New York to the ground. Why do we trust our government? Oh, dear. Oh, hey, you see the rainbow? You go a couple to the right, there's one with the Earth and the Sun. What's that? That looks good.
Oh, if you believe this.
Oh, if you believe this.
And see this.
You might be retarded.
I don't understand.
That just doesn't make any sense at all. That's just no. That's not.
If you believe, it's
just meaningless. Let's find something that actually is evidence because I like.
Yeah.
Oh, here's good. Don't make me say it. Why erect 1,500-foot antennas if satellites exist? Well, there you go. It's a good point, isn't it?
Why?
Why would you do that? I don't know. Why would you toast bread if the moon is why would you wear shoes if the Earth is a sphere? I mean, it
doesn't make any sense, does it?
No. But it has led me to that picture of Clarkson with his face distorted. You seen that? Moving at 155 miles an hour in a Mugen aerial atom. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then moving at
1,000 miles around the globe
with a dog.
Well,
there you go.
That totally proves it.
Now, yeah, it does. This is a failure to understand the idea that we're moving relative to the Earth or with the Earth at the same speed, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. For the same reason that if you're travelling in a car and you drop something, it doesn't smash through the back window at 60 miles an hour.
Do you know what? If the Earth was round, it would do that. It would smash out of the window. Why do we still trust our government, then? Oh dear. Oh look, excuse me, who took this picture?
Oh, that one, the moon landing one.
No, who took this picture? No, there's a few who took these picture things, aren't there? No, this is one of a spiral galaxy. With You Are Here. Who took this picture? That's brilliant. There's a lovely comment here from Life of Money.
Uh-huh.
That's a good question. I asked a few people I know about its origin, and they said the Hubble or the Shuttle took it. That would be wrong, as the only way to get a pretty spiral picture of our galaxy like that is from outside it.
Yeah, it's true.
And it's a good long way outside it as well, and the galaxy is 1,000 light years across.
It would take. I mean, it would take a good
light years outside. So at the speed of light, which is realistic, isn't it, to send a camera out the speed of light and back again with no acceleration or deceleration, it would only take 200,000 years to get out there, take a photo, and get back again. So, yeah.
Are you saying that is a faked photograph or isn't a faked photograph?
I'm suggesting it's a picture of the Andromeda Galaxy or another spiral galaxy taken by the Hubble Space Telescope. Yes. Oh, look, here's a great one. I'm going to keep saying the word science until you believe my CGI is real.
I've seen that one, yeah, with Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah, in front of a green screen. Yeah. It's going to keep you saying the word science in his incredibly high-tech CGI studio with his camera made from all sorts of wonderful technology, which you're watching via the internet. No. On your incredible flat screen display through your wonder of technology computer.
All created without the use of science at any point.
No science in any of that infrastructure whatsoever. Almost certainly created entirely by skepticism of the existence of any kind of objective fact or reality. It just popped into being, I expect. Maybe some kind of divine creator magicked up the interwebs. Yeah, this is great, isn't it?
This is all lovely, yeah.
Oh, look, there's the sun's path over the flat Earth. The proper science of it is quite impressive.
Right.
The sun's path over the flat Earth.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, I don't pretend to understand the flat Earth's path. How does it work, Dave? Do you have any understanding of how the sun's path works?
As I understand it, the sun and the moon are both fixed into the dome that covers us all.
Right. I've just found a diagram here. So at the top there's God.
Right, of course.
And then there's water.
Right.
And then there's the dome, which is the firmament.
Yeah.
Which appears to have some holes in it. And then below that is the sky, the windows and doors of heaven, the sun and the moon. Right, so the sun and the moon are on opposite sides.
And they sort of just rotate around each other.
And then the great deep.
And, the thing I saw was that the reason there's night and day is that the sun shines straight down like a spotlight.
Right.
Big spotlight, basically.
Right.
And that spotlight just kind of rotates, just kind of travels around in a circle, lighting up different bits of the flat Earth, which makes perfect sense.
It does. Oh, right. So the sun and the moon spin round on opposite sides of a circle above the Earth.
Yes.
So how come you can often see them at the same time?
There's one near the top. It's a picture of the moon. It says, if the moon is 250,000 miles out in the darkness of space.
Oh, here it is. Yeah, sorry, I see it now. If the moon is how is it possible for there to be blue sky behind it?
I mean,
what an idiot! What a total moron! My God, people are stupid, aren't they? Christ on a bike. You know what's crazy?
Yeah.
You live on a spinning ball when you're actually living on a flat stationary Earth.
Yeah.
Oh, God, you bloody idiots.
Oh, wait, look at this Freemason science. Earth revolves around the sun at 66,600 miles per hour. Curvature of 1 square mile is 666 feet, and the Earth tilts at 66.6 degrees.
Where did you find that?
That's underneath the moon. There's a little grid under there.
I can't see it, but that's very good. Oh, there it is. I see it. Freemasons. Yeah. Still think it's all a coincidence? No, I think you're talking fucking nonsense, you bloody idiots. Oh, look, you see see the Earth with the water removed one. You've seen that? This is
the Earth with the water removed.
Earth with all the water removed. None of the other planets have water, all perfect spheres except Earth.
Wow, it's
derpy Earth.
Yeah, I would have assumed.
Yeah. What they've done here, this is what the other one did, isn't it? Of just coming up with something completely imaginary and then say, "Do you see the problem? Why trust the government?"
Why?
Yeah.
Why erect 1,500-foot antennas?
Yeah. Science claims the Earth is actually made completely of mouldy bread. The problem. Use the evidence of your eyes. Jesus,
that is not right.
It's definitely incorrect. It's definitely incorrect. Well, this is fascinating, isn't it? So
that's really good.
I saw some experiments that you could do at home, but now I've lost them. Oh, hang on. Before we do that, look, there's the spirit level thing you're talking about. If the Earth was round, these would only work at the top. Yeah.
That's pretty inarguable, right?
Yeah, that's definitely right. That's definitely not a complete misunderstanding of the way everything works. When you mention flat Earth and all you get back is that fluoride stare.
Oh, wow.
Wow, because the fluoride that the government puts in your water turns you into a zombie.
I think it also makes you want cigarettes and burgers and milkshakes
hey, look,
as well.
There's Tom York, isn't there? Can you see on the right? You can only see half.
Luckily, Tom York.
His wonky eyes missing. But you see the lady with the red straw?
Yes.
Behind her on the edge.
Yeah.
It's Tom York.
Definitely Tom York, you're right.
Definitely him. Yeah. Interesting.
That's odd.
It is odd. Are you sure you're not getting those blank looks because what you're saying is just
it's incomprehensible nonsense.
Incomprehensible nonsense that only a total idiot would ever spout. Like a really, really deranged or idiotic fool. My God. That's why people are looking at you strangely, because you're a bloody idiot. Oh, God. Right.
Why do they need Doppler radar if they have satellites?
Well, quite. Why do they need Doppler radar if they have satellites? You know. Why...
I mean, yeah.
You know, why should I eat breakfast if there are satellites? Why is my cat so greedy if there are satellites? Oh, look, here's one of Neil deGrasse Tyson. Still waiting for NASA to zoom in on the Earth and show buildings and cars upside down.
What?
Jesus, what?
What? That doesn't make any sense at all.
It doesn't. It just doesn't make any sense.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's brilliant.
All right, so this one down here is a picture of William Shatner. And it says, I was fooled by science. The Earth is flat. William Shatner, 4th, 15th, 2017.
I suspect that that's not a genuine quote.
Well, the thing is, I suspect it's probably not. But even if he did say it, he's not a real spaceman.
He is. Everybody knows Shatner's a real spaceman. Oh, look.
I don't know why he would be an authority.
If anyone would know. Oh, look, this is good, and I found my experiments again. Right, okay, look, here we go. First of all, here's a picture of the space shuttle. NASA says the escape velocity to leave Earth is 11.2 kilometers a second, or 40,320 miles per hour. Okay. The shuttle's top speed is 18,000 miles an hour. How is it possible for it to reach space? Now, that's a misunderstanding of what escape velocity is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and I don't want to be. So, what it is, I know you know this anyway, Dave, but explain anyway. Orbital velocity is not escape velocity. To get to orbital velocity, you need to be going like 15,000 miles an hour or so, and that will allow you to constantly drop over the horizon and hence orbit the Earth, but not escape the Earth, where you have to go much faster to Mars or something, or further. Then
you want to escape gravity well entirely.
Yes, you have to go at 40,000 miles an hour, which is more than twice as fast. Now, the space shuttle was never designed to do that. It was only ever designed to go into orbit, and that's why. Yeah,
but you can't use facts to argue this stuff.
No, you can't use
that's just cheating.
No, yeah, it would be. Okay, 3 experiments you can do at home.
Okay, sweet.
That prove the Earth.
Well, we can settle it. Yeah.
This is gold. I'm just going to read them out. Okay, 1, jump. Scientists claim... There's a picture of a lady jumping. Scientists claim...
Okay, right, good.
Yeah, she's smiling too. She's really happy about the jump. Scientists claim that Earth is spherical and rotating at a speed of between 700 to 1,000 miles per hour, depending on your latitude. This is a very high rate of speed. It is. You can disprove this nonsense by simply jumping up as high as you can. What happens when you jump? You come straight down to where you were.
You see.
Yeah. But if the Earth were indeed spinning at such a fast speed, wouldn't you land hundreds of feet away? If you were to stand in the flatbed of a truck going 75 miles an hour and jump straight up, what would happen? You wouldn't fall straight down. You would fall out of the truck. That's because trucks move. The Earth doesn't. This experiment proves the Earth is fixed in space and doesn't move. I mean, that's coming back to what you were saying.
We're back to dropping the object in the car,
Yeah. Like, as you know, if you hold...
the other side.
Yeah, as you know, if you hold a little marble in your hand while you're driving down the motorway at 70 miles an hour in your car... and you throw it into the air, it will immediately smash back through your face and splatter your brains all over.
At 70 miles an hour,
Yeah, because, that's how it works.
And likewise, if I'm at one end of a train and I want to get to the other, the easiest way is just to jump.
Yeah, and you will fly at 120 or whatever the train's doing. You need to make sure that you don't hit any objects, because that's why everyone's bolted to the floor in trains, right?
Yeah, that's exactly the reason,
Because otherwise, there'd just be a big pile of flesh at the when you arrived at the station.
Yeah. Oh, it's happened again.
Oh, no. Why is it that every time we travel at speed, everybody on the train is smashed into a mound of mints? And why is that? Oh, it's because of the flat Earth.
Oh, flat Earth,
Yeah, experiment 2.
All right, so that one's...
Yeah, that's fact. Right.
Yeah, fact.
Blow. Since if the Earth is supposedly a sphere, it naturally comes to assume what would happen to people below the equator, like in Australia. That's slightly oddly phrased. I think he's saying, what wouldn't people fall off the Earth in Australia if they're in a sphere?
Is that okay?
Since they are underneath the sphere, wouldn't they fall off? Oh, that's exactly what he was saying.
Oh, good. Right.
This is where scientists come up with mumbo-jumbo like gravity and centrifugal force to explain away their theories. The scientists want you to think that because the Earth is so much more massive than people or things, the Earth not being a thing here...
No, it's much bigger than all things.
Or anything larger than the Earth. They don't count as things. It's much more massive than things and people, which also don't count as things. That people will naturally stick to the bottom of the Earth because of gravity.
Right. Is he confusing gravity and glue?
It does appear that he thinks of it as essentially an adhesive. This can be easily disproved. Get a balloon and inflate it. Now,
right.
You with me? There's a picture of a balloon. Get a balloon and inflate it. Now, take a piece of paper and cut the tiniest speck of paper possible.
Right.
Now, try and place the small piece of paper to the underside of the balloon. What happens? It falls off!
Well, okay, I've got 2 issues with that. I'll start with the less important one.
Right.
Isn't it quite likely that static electricity would actually...
I was just thinking that. Yeah, but I mean, that proves that static electricity and gravity are the same thing, right?
Right, yeah, I suppose it does.
That's definitely proof of that.
So, I mean, balloons are famously very, very massy objects. They're very dense.
Yes, that's exactly the opposite of true, isn't it? Yes. I suspect that what's happened here is he's misunderstood what massive means. And thinks that massive means large because it's
of course
used to mean that in conversation, and doesn't understand that it actually means the amount of stuff, density of matter that's in there.
The amount of stuff and things.
Yeah, stuff and things. Sorry, things. That's the technical term, isn't it?
Yeah. Wow. Wait, so I don't understand then.
What is
so if you don't believe in gravity?
Perfectly valid.
So, all right. The only thing I don't get, the only thing that isn't immediately, if he doesn't believe in gravity, what's making the paper fall off?
I don't know. Well, I was thinking similarly. Why, if there is no gravity, where would they fall? Why would they fall off the bottom? What's sticking us to the ground normally, and why would you drop off the bottom of a sphere? Hang on, before we do that, I'm gonna do experiment 3. Let's come back to that and we'll try.
Oh yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
Unless you want to research it while I'm doing this, then you can tell me the answer when I get to the end of this one.
Okay, yeah, I'm looking up. Yeah.
3, get high. Stand on the ground and look around you. What's the farthest you can see? Now, find some...
Was 3... Hang on, go back. Was 3, get high?
Yes, it was, yeah.
Okay, right.
Yeah. Getting high will definitely help you with this very valid argument. What's the farthest you can see? Now, find some place where you can get much higher vantage point. There's a picture of a man on top of a big tall hill. Notice how in the higher place you can see much farther. This shows the world is flat because the higher you go, the easier it is to see over obstacles. At the same time, it shows the world cannot be spherical because if the world was curved, the far distance would forever remain out of view because of the Earth's curvature. It would eternally be over the horizon. What? Interestingly, that's exactly what actually happens.
I don't understand his argument. What? No. So you can see further when you go up because you're looking over. You can see over things that you couldn't see over when you were low down, which proves it's not a sphere. See,
you can literally see.
Seems to be a missing logical step there. Yeah, right. So
you can see to Antarctica, right? That's the.
If you went up really high, you could see like New York from here.
Yeah, but no. By that logic, you'd have to be able to see all the way to the ice wall, right? Because the whole point is you can see to the end of the Earth, or else.
How high do you think the ice wall is supposed to be? Is it like Game of Thrones?
Well, we've seen photos of it. You know how high it is because you've seen.
I have to confess, I wasn't entirely convinced by all of those photos.
Really?
Yeah, I thought some of them might just be pictures of ice shelves.
You've been brainwashed by the Freemasons and the government and the Illuminati.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I've just found another thing here. This is a question. This will make you think. I think this might be what persuades you. If the marks on the moon are craters from meteors, and we always see the same side of the moon. With me so far? Did the meteors come from Earth, or did we go to war against the moon and NASA didn't say anything?
NASA didn't say anything. What? That's an interesting assumption. That's a bit of a leap.
It is. I mean, we could discuss tidal locking, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Is it worth discussing that briefly? Do people know why the same side of the moon faces the Earth? Do people?
I don't think so. I don't think people.
So, just in case people don't know, a quick explainer. It's to do with the tidal forces exerted on the moon by the Earth, right? So, it wasn't always facing one side to the Earth. It used to spin round at a different rate, a faster rate, and has been slowed down by tidal forces, the gravity, actually gone to the point where it still rotates, but it rotates at exactly the right speed so that one rotation around the Earth rotates it once on its axis, meaning we always see the same size, and that will happen with any sufficiently small object that is
given enough time
to a sufficiently larger object, and we see it repeated around the solar system wherever those conditions are met. Is that a fair summary?
That is a very, very good summary of what NASA want you to think. Yes.
Right, sorry, of the great lie. And also, I should point out that those meteors that hit the moon, they didn't get there yesterday, right? They arrived during a period of very heavy bombardment quite a long time ago in the Earth-Moon system's history.
Yeah. Wait, hang on. So, is his theory that we had this war against the moon while NASA was around? As in, in the last 50 years?
Well, yeah, we must have had the technology to bomb the moon, right? We didn't have that.
I suppose you're right. It must have been quite recent. Yeah.
You know, you didn't get Genghis Khan bombing the frickin' moon.
They did have some pretty good bows, but
they wouldn't have made the craters. They might
you're right.
Shot the moon, but we would just see loads of arrows sticking out of it.
No, that seems pretty watertight to me.
It does. Yeah.
So why? Yeah. Okay. So we bombed the moon sometime in the last 60 years, and all these craters appeared. And no one's ever wondered about where these craters came from before.
Yeah.
All the craters that suddenly appeared on the moon.
That's right. Oh, hang on. Here's a thing about gravity with a picture of a bird. What does this say? Gravity, strong enough to hold the oceans to a spinning ball.
Right.
Yet weak enough that birds can still fly.
Well, yes. Yes is the answer to that one. Correct.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't know, I haven't measured them, but I suspect maybe all the water on the planet has quite a higher mass than a bird.
It's not just that, though, is it? Because birds do actually stick to the ground unless they apply aerodynamic forces through the use of their wings, which lift them through the fluid of the atmosphere.
Yes, that's true.
Okay, here's a picture of...
Well, maybe they do.
Maybe. Here's a picture of... Yeah, they don't really fly. It's all part of the conspiracy. That's what they want you to think. Birds can fly, and you still... Birds can fly, and you still...
Wake up, sheeple.
So here's a picture of Nixon, very happily on the phone. Calls men on the moon in 1969, 239,000 miles away. Then a picture of a lady in a wood. Can't get a cell phone signal while camping in 2016. Oh, someone's commented. Oh, hang on. I've got a phone call. Go away, phone call. I'll just turn the volume down. Someone's commented, NASA in Hebrew means to deceive.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh, man. No. Why are these conspiracies always so keen to leave all these clues around?
Do you know what? Why are people so keen to make such obviously untrue and easily provably falsifiably untrue statements without are they just not bothering to check them, or do they not believe the actual proof that they're nonsense? No stars, no thick layer, no crater under the lander, backgrounds on moon similar to backgrounds on Earth, scales moon and Earth sometimes wrong on pictures. Right, well, Cheryl McGibbon, you've convinced me. Sorry,
yes,
you were gonna say.
I've looked up how why objects appear to fall on a flat Earth.
Oh, do tell me, enlighten me.
Without gravity. So, now, okay, view it with an open mind, because this may at first seem very silly.
Right.
But I've read it through, and it's all very, very internally consistent and quite convincing. So what's happening is the Earth is constantly accelerating upwards at 9.8 meters per second.
The Earth is constantly accelerating.
Constantly, for its entire... Yes, yeah, at the same... Yeah. So that produces basically, we're not falling towards the Earth, right?
Right.
The Earth pushes up into us and creates the force.
Right. Okay.
I think
and
that's
has been doing that forever.
Forever, yes, yeah. I don't know if there's any crossover with flat Earth and creationism or anything, but at least for thousands of years, right?
Right. So within a few years, we're traveling very close to the speed of light. So we must be.
I think within like less than a year.
Yeah. So we're hurtling through something. Is there any understanding of what it is we're hurtling through?
The ether.
Looking at us from outside.
Yeah. Is it the ether? Is that what?
Watching us go. At this point, we would be like some kind of Shiva-like fist of destruction, like almost, like incredibly high mass, absolutely hugely destructive, blindingly light with the brightness of a billion suns, object smashing through the heavens at almost the speed of light, ever closer but never quite reaching the speed of light, utterly destroying anything we even came close to. On planetary, on space scales, like on.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to bear in mind that if all this is true, there isn't any space or other planets or galaxies.
Right? There has to be an external reference. Right, by invoking acceleration.
Yes. Yeah.
You are saying there is an external frame of reference. So we must be accelerating through something. You don't get to invoke acceleration and then claim there is no outside universe.
Yes.
Yeah. You can have the no outside universe, but we're going to have to ditch the acceleration if you're going to do that.
Yes. I'm just gonna. What's outside the firmament?
Well, according to the one that I looked up earlier, it's God.
Right. What? So we're traveling at unimaginable speeds through God.
Yeah. Well, through the heavens, God in the heavens.
Right.
Presumably smashing everything in the heavens into a sea of particles. I suppose very high energy photons.
Yes. A photon's still allowed. Are we still allowed to release photons? Or are they part of that?
Oh my God! Hang on. Can I just quickly divert onto a little thing I've seen?
Okay.
Picture of somebody in the water, underwater. If gravity ceases to exist in water, does it really exist anywhere?
I see. Idiot. I think you've misunderstood buoyancy there.
Oh my God! Jesus
Christ!
How can you be that dumb? Oh
no! Hang on. Wait, because I've just seen one of these here. It says, "Fascinating, isn't it? Everyone who researches the flat Earth becomes a flat earther."
Right. Yeah, we're researching.
Oh no!
And I'm pretty much convinced.
Convinced, I think. Yeah.
You know what's done it for me?
Yeah. What?
Is I've always wondered why there's no gravity in water. It's like you jump into the swimming pool or get in the bath and gravity just ceases to exist.
It does cease to exist, yeah, and that's answered that question.
Now I know why. And how boats are essentially anti-gravity machines.
All right, so hang on. So there's a load of water above the firmament.
Oh, so we're going through the water?
Apparently so. We're travelling. It wouldn't surely
gravity there.
Okay, yeah. So according to this diagram, there's the Earth.
Yeah.
Then the firmament, and then that appears to all be inside a massive lake, and then above that is heaven.
Right.
This is quite a religious one. I think that's the. I think there's it seems to be like different flat earthers, right? So there's religious ones and.
Right. Some of them think it's all God, and some of them just think that they're being fooled by the government.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
But they've managed to work it out using clever maths and willful misunderstandings of basic physical terms.
Here's a picture of the moon astronauts, and it says, "So these guys on the moon took a moment to take their helmets off for this picture," which, according to a comment there, I'm not going to bother checking, so I shouldn't be too uptight about it. But according to comments there, it's a picture of them with the prototype in Arizona.
Oh right, okay. Well, that seems. Which fairly likely.
Or you could achieve a similar thing by photoshopping a real picture, I suppose.
Yeah.
Do you think we should stop now?
Probably, I think so. Are we both convinced?
I'm convinced that the Earth is flat, yeah.
I feel a fool for ever believing anything different.
I do that. You could go on and on for hours and hours and hours with this nonsense, couldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely could.
Yeah. Well, maybe we should do more of these conspiracy things. Anyway.
There's loads more.
Yeah. Hooray!
Yay!
Okay, bye, Dave.
Bye. See ya.
Bye.